Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be a very special birthday message for Pisces. What's going on, Pisces? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Apologies, guys. This is slightly late. I got really caught up yesterday. Yesterday was February 19th, which is the first day of Pisces. So I like to publish these on the first day of the Zodiac, but you know, life is life, and I got really swamped and really backed up, so I didn't have time to record and then publish on that day. So today is February 20th. This is going to be a reading for your birthday period between February 19th and March 20th. That covers all Pisces. So I hope that there's a message in here for you. It is pretty general, even though it is designated for you during your birthday month. It is still very general. If you wanted to get a personal reading with me, you can find those details in the description box below. I will also put a timestamp down there for when the reading actually begins. And if you're new to my channel or you're not really familiar with my format or how I go about things, I will shuffle a little bit now on camera, and then I'm going to lay everything out. And then once all those cards are actually out and they're lying face up, that is when the reading begins. So that's why there will be a timestamp below. Anything else for you, Pisces? No. Nope. I think that was it. And of course, you know, happy birthday. If I missed you yesterday, if you're like the first day of Pisces, I apologize. So happy belated birthday to those who celebrated yesterday, and happy belated to those who might be watching this after your birthday actually occurs. Okay, I hope you guys have a fabulous, amazing day. I have two Pisces in my life that are very important to me. They're super amazing people, and we have some things planned for them. A group of us, so hopefully we're gonna have a good time, because you know, I love Pisces. Pisces are very special people to me. I love them, you know. In case you didn't know, I think I've mentioned that to you before. All right, guys, so it's going to be a 6-card spread. It's kind of tiered. It sort of mimics a cake, and each position does have its own particular meaning, so I'll address that as they come out. Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle for realsies and get your spread. Okay, Pisces during their birthday period for February 19th through March 20th, please. Messages for Pisces. Okay. Whoa, okay, that's interesting. So I do shuffle this differently than I do my generals. So that's your first card. And then we'll deal the rest out, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you'll get an oracle card at the end. I believe the oracle will be the goddess. I think that's what we're getting. Ooh! And it came face down, and you have a reversal. And you're the first person I've ever done, the first Zodiac I've ever done the birthday reading for that has had reversal. So that's interesting. But we'll see how in a second, okay? Okay, let's get the energy here. Pisces. Ooh, right. Nice. Right there. Perfect. All right, guys. So 6 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I counted them out earlier. Position 1. Coming into your birthday period, this is like what you come in sort of already knowing or having a familiarity with. You might want to consider it your past or your recent past. And you have the Fool card reversed. I'll show you this upright in case you are not familiar with this deck, which is the Spirit Within Tarot by Stephen Bright. You know, Pisces, I feel like you've tried to do certain things, or you've tried to let go of certain things, or you've tried to get certain things started or make certain changes in your life, and I feel that you've been stalled, or you've been completely shut out of something is what I'm feeling here. I think many of you recently, or maybe for a while, were very interested in fresh starts, or revitalizing something, or having new interests, or having bright ideas, or just something about change and like taking yourself past your limits, or making a complete 180 turn in some part of your life. But recently, I feel this is recent because, again, this is sort of what you're already familiar with. It's not really talking about what you might expect in the future or what might be coming towards you. But what you're walking in here with is just knowing something didn't go right, something's not working out, something never got started, something never wrapped up or completed. And the real sticking point here that I feel for you, Pisces, is that you're annoyed, you're frustrated, some of you are sad, some of you are angry, but mostly it is disappointed and frustrated is what I feel. It's like best laid plans just never came or have not come to fruition, and feeling flustered by that. Like, is this some type of a game? Is this some type of a joke? Like, some of you are like thinking this or saying this aloud to yourself or whispering or muttering it under your breath, you know, when you go and you can't secure the loan from the bank that you need to start your business, or secure the loan from the bank so you can, like an emergency loan, something like that. Some of you are having like issues making ends meet, which is, obviously that's very typical of many people. But some of you are like, you're going to every single person you know, they can't help you. You've gone to the banks, they can't help you. Even like some like emergency payday loans, like some of you maybe haven't been rejected from that, but like the fees for that, or the what do you call that? The interest for that is like so astronomical, it wouldn't make any feasible sense to take that up. So it's like you're trying to find solutions to your problems financially, in your personal life, in your personal development, in your love life, whatever. And everything you've tried just hasn't really worked out. And you energetically, I feel that you're bummed about that. I mean, most people would be. And I think some of you are like feeling like you're at the end of your rope, right? Like, what else can I do? How else can I fix this? Because the Fool is that, take a chance energy, roll the dice energy, right? Very risky, but not worrisome. And I think some of you have taken risks previously to this point, and you took those risks and it didn't work out, so now you're worried. You see what I mean? Like, the initial start of this somewhere in your past was like this, like, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna roll the dice here and hope for the best. That basically is what the Fool is. That's basically what the Fool would ask you to do. But because you didn't get what you expected, now you're worried. I shouldn't have taken, like, you're retroactively looking back and you're saying, I shouldn't have even tried this. Some of you, not all of you. Some of you are just like, oh my God, I should have, stayed at home, basically. I should have never gone to this place, or I never should have talked to this person, or I never should have initiated this, or, started proceedings with this other thing. And there's a bit of regret here. And I think that's not really serving you. I'm just pointing out and underlining the mindset that some of you have. I'm not sure that that's necessarily going to impact you in any way going forward. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know about that, Pisces. Now, your second position, you might as well think of this as sort of like where you're standing right now firmly as your birthday period is upon you. You could think of it as your present, but it's also energy that you sort of need to face or embrace. And you have the King of Cups. So water sign energy, so you're in your wheelhouse. Also there are Cancer and Scorpio, as they're the other water signs. And the King of Cups is compassionate. This could be another person that you need to face or embrace or somehow interact with. Or this is an energy that you need to sort of embody in yourself, or an aspect of yourself that needs attention. And so the King of Cups is super compassionate. He's super level-headed in terms of how he processes his emotions. He can clearly label when he's sad, when he's angry, when he's happy, when he's delighted, all of those things. Like, it's his own emotions do not confuse him, right? The hitch with this energy is that it's not super expressive. It's very stoic. I mean, it's just a silhouette, but there's not a lot of action going on with this card. There's not a lot of motion there. And in some cases, you might read this person, or someone might be reading you, Pisces, as lacking in emotion or not being very emotive. So maybe that's something that some of you are going through right now, or that you're going to feel during this birthday period for you, during February and March. You might not feel as jolly or as energetic or as happy, or you might be reserved. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not going to be happy, but I think you might be reserving that energy, or holding it back, or scaling it back in some cases. And again, it doesn't have to be you. It could be someone around you who has this energy. But the part that I think is helping you is the discernment, the clear discernment. And that could be residual through what you've learned here. Maybe some of you have learned a lesson or two here. Maybe some of you have taken notes here, and you're going back to the drawing board and you're saying, okay, I'm going to approach this situation from a level place within my emotions, right? I'm not going to get too heated. I'm not going to get overly sentimental. I'm going to go in there and do X, Y, Z. And together, the Fool card and the King of Cups is giving you that new perspective, the more mature. This is the most mature out of the court cards in the cup suit. This is the most mature that you can get, So you're coming in with a new mindset or a fresh perspective. And I think it suits you because, like I said, some of you regret or feel really annoyed that you took this risk back here and it didn't pay off, or it hasn't paid off yet, or it hasn't paid off in any way that you feel is even viable or measurable. And so now going forward, you're going to be a little more cautious. The King of Cups, as much as he feels like he has the depth of the ocean within him, but like I said, it's stoic. It's reserved. It's not easily seen. So maybe some of you have dealt with tumultuous emotional experiences as of late. Maybe some of you declared your love over here, or you had some heart-to-heart talks with people in your family or your friend circle or your husband or your wife or whoever. And it's like nothing, there was no traction in those discussions. So maybe some of you, instead of pouring your heart out to someone or opening yourself up and being super vulnerable, you're really protecting that part of yourself now. Because the King of Cups is also very protective, as would be the Queen and all of the other members of the court in the cup suit, And if it's not anything like that, where we're you're defending yourself, you're being quiet about your emotions. If it's nothing like that, it could be some of you are coming back around to a more sensitive approach to things. Because the Fool card, again, that's where you started, or that's what's coming into you, or coming in with you previous to this time period, right? So, and the Fool is very action oriented. He's very like, go, go, go. This is a slower paced energy. This is a more controlled energy. It still, in some cases, can be open and can be vulnerable, but it's a controlled vulnerability. It's not swinging in on a rope or, going and being in the middle of anything. This is a very, I'm getting, probably because of the music, but they're showing me like when you go to the theater and there are box seats like up above the general, or the crowd below, like this is where this type of energy would be placed. It's still there to see the show, it's still there out in public, but it's sort of on its own separate level. And you could be, if this is concerning your romantic life or something to do with close intimate relationships, it could be you're meeting someone who's like that, or you're behaving that way with your partner, with your friends, with whoever. It's like you're there, but you are on the side. You're not on the side. You're in like the VIP section. It's very interesting. Now, your third position, you might as well consider this, you know, how you're moving forward, what's coming toward you, what you might be expecting or looking forward to, aka your future or your near future, okay? Seven of Pentacles. So that's going to bum some of you out, absolutely, because this is absolutely, I mean, what do you see there in that silhouette? This is a card of waiting. This is a card of waiting for the right moment, waiting for the crops to yield, to be ripe, to be ready to harvest, okay? It's the act of monitoring and looking for the opportune moment to do something or to say something, yeah? And that, again, is going to bum some of you out, but I think it kind of flows. I mean, some Pisces, most of you are pretty mellow. Most of you are going to be go with the flow, you know, all that kind of stuff. You don't usually get super agitated or irritated when things don't move. You know, Pisces can lay in wait for a long time, okay? Many of you, not all of you, but many of you. So for those who are on that, let's get things going, I'm tired of waiting, I've done all my homework, whatever it is, this is not going to sit well with you. For others, this might be helpful because there is a chance here to also reevaluate. If this is regarding, like I said, a financial thing earlier, and you're coming with this more mature, more reserved position, and you're not taking any rejections from financial institutions or banks or people that you're asking for loans personally, and you're going in, you're making sound arguments, you do have a lot of emotion behind what you're saying or what you're proposing, but you're not like a stark raving mad person screaming from your heart. You're tempering that energy, right? And then when you do that, you're able to reevaluate your position, the position of whoever you're asking for money from. Like, okay, this bank is giving me this as my interest rate, and then this credit union over here has a lower interest rate, but da 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 da. So you're really combing over those details before you actually act. So that's very helpful for some of you. In the case of some love or, like I said, intimate relationships, can be with family and friends, doesn't have to be just, you know, people you're dating or married to or sleeping with or anything like that. It is still critical that you look at the details. There's something here specifically for people that are having an interpersonal connection with this reading. You got to look at the details. What are you bringing to the table? What are they bringing to the table? What do they contribute to the household? What do you contribute to the household? And it is dealing with pentacles, so that could be like actually the money that's brought into the home. Okay, I pay this bill, you pay that bill, or we put in this much from our paychecks and da-da-da. You might need to recalibrate and restructure how much money is taken in from each partner or each person that lives in the house, if this is like a roommate situation or something like that. So there is this need to look at those financial details, look at those details in people's effort, because I'm getting the sense that in someone's household, in someone's realm, you're dealing with someone who's lazy or who has checked out or who just hasn't pulled their weight as much as they should, and it will need to be addressed, okay? Or it could be you who hasn't pulled your weight. You know, it is very general, right? So it's just really a lot of work in general. This bottom row is a lot of work. I feel it. And for a birthday message, that's not like what you want to hear, but I think that's absolutely what the hell is going on here. It's like no avoiding it. You know, we've had missed opportunities here, missteps here. We're getting our head on our shoulders, we're calming our emotions down, and then we're plotting the next move, and we're analyzing what the best way to move forward will be, okay? For your fourth position, now if we consider that sort of like the base of your cake, right? You know, your basic vanilla mix. These next two, position 4 and 5, you can think of them sort of as like the icing on the cake. It's sort of like what you can consider the gift or the present that's coming towards you, okay? It might be something that you've asked for, it might be something that you have worked for or have put in efforts for, but it's really coming to you, and hopefully it's in a beneficial way, is basically how these next two cards are supposed to work, okay? Now, you've got the Queen of Swords. So some of you have asked, not specifically for a Queen of Swords, although maybe you have. Maybe some of you are like, I need an air sign in my life. And in this case, since they're both here, I would assume some of you might be asking specifically, give me an air sign female. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But again, that's like super, super specific, and most of you probably are not wishing for that. But it's more about, like I normally say, the energy of this card. And you want studiousness. I think that's a word. Studiousness? We'll go with it. You want someone who is on their P's and Q's, someone who is crossing those T's and dotting those I's. Either you want someone who fits that criteria, or you want that energy for yourself. You want these attributes for yourself, or you need them to be infused in whatever project you're working on, whatever realm we're talking about in your life, right? The Queen of Swords is no fuss, no muss. She's very much about her business. I mean, she's, as we can see from the silhouette, she's seated at a desk. Maybe she's like reading a book or a tablet or a newspaper or something. Her sword, which in other decks she normally has in her hand, is off to the side here. So in this particular instance, this Queen of Swords is very much about her business. She is being thorough. She is being meticulous. She's being hypercritical. Again, it's kind of partnering with what we were just talking about with that Seven of Pentacles, having an eye on the details. Scrutiny. There's a lot of scrutiny here. A lot of crunching of numbers, reading over contracts. Maybe that's what she's reading, a contract. Like I said, maybe you're comparing notes between two different financial institutions. Maybe you're comparing notes between what you saw in the text message and what someone else received in an email, and you're trying to figure out who lost the plot here, who's misinformed, and there's just like a detective thing going on here, and you're trying to figure out how to make the situation work. The Queen of Swords wants results, okay? She's not here to just spend her time idly going over these documents. It's not fun. This is not how she wants to spend her free time. This is not what she wants. This is not how she gets her kicks. Okay, the Queen of Swords would much rather be doing anything else, but this is her skill set. And I'm saying her a lot. I'm not saying that whoever we're talking about has to be a female. And again, it does not have to be someone external to you. This could be energy that you want for yourself. I'm only saying her because of the card itself, right? It's a queen. It's a her, okay? So, yeah, she's here to utilize her skills, you know? If you wanted someone to, you know, get to the root of passion or the root of taking action or anything like that, you would get the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Swords is, I need to take mental stock. I need to logically parse through this information. So that's the other thing. She's infusing and injecting logic where it may have been missing, finding reason where there was no reason, trying to understand what was maybe misunderstood previous to this, and solidifying from here forward, okay, now that we're all on the same page, now that we're all clear on what we're talking about and the details of what we're talking about, there should be no mistakes going forward. Like, all of her effort, the Queen of Swords, all of the effort from this card is so that there are no missteps in the future. She's in it to get it right. Now, she connects with the Fool energy and the King of Cups, so that totally makes sense. Going back over the Fool's energy, you're replaying what the downfall was here. Where was the mistake? Where did we miss certain key information, right? And then here with the King of Cups is you have the most mature point you can be in with your emotions. You're level-headed, you're calm. Now you want to filter or somehow combine or mix this energy with the Queen of Swords. And he's also going to get mixed with the next card, which is the King of Swords. So that's amazing. You have a really interesting thing here with these 3 core cards. I like it. It's totally not you, right? Or rather, it's you, but you're borrowing, right? You're borrowing. Now, the King of Swords is a little different. Again, he's another part of your icing, right? So he's the other thing that you've held, that you've wished for, or that you kind of need to come into your life to kind of make things smooth or sweet, you know, because icing, well, I mean, is icing not, yeah, icing is best when it's smooth. Like, who would want choppy icing, right? I don't know why I had to sit here and think about icing that hard, but so the King of Swords partnering with the Queen of Swords. So there might be a team of people, since these two are equals and they're in the same suit, so they are cohabitating this space. So you might be reaching out to a team of people or a partnership of people to help you. This could be, for some of you, as we're dealing with logic, and if you're centering here, because I feel a lot of you are centering here, or I'm not centering, how can I say that? Like I said earlier, it's sort of like the core of you, where you find yourself for the majority of your birthday season. You'll be here. This will see you out. This brings you in. This sees you out. So in that time frame, you might be partnering with or wanting to partner with people who have this intellectualized approach to something. Business. Maybe these are, you know, 2 good friends of yours. Could be investors, therapist in some cases. I do, because again, seated here, you know, kind of taking notes, the Queen of Wands, or excuse me, the Queen of Swords, taking notes or reading something on a pad. So this could be a therapy thing for some of you. Now, the King of Swords still has that enlightenment, right? I don't know if you can really tell on that card. All around him, there's like this beam of light. So he's enlightened mentally, yeah? He's sharp, just as sharp as she is, the Queen of Swords, right? He has a fortitude about him, but he's more action-oriented. Like, she's seated, right? The Queen of Swords is seated. She's analyzing. He's more taking action upon what he's analyzed, or not even what he's analyzed. He's taking action on what he has learned, what he can observe, and what he can be assured of as fact. So I think you're doing a lot of reflection here. I think you're gathering information, you're building a case, you're filling in the blanks, you know, you're going back over the details, etc., etc. And then now with the King of Swords energy, could be another, like I said, could be another person, or it's something that you're harnessing within yourself. Now you're ready to get up and go. He's out in this field, he's carrying his sword, unlike the Queen of Swords, who has her sword at rest. There is this, let's go, let's get it done, right? But he's a lot, this energy is way fiercer than some of you might be accustomed to. So if this is a therapist or a trainer or some type of life coach or just a friend of yours, and maybe you've gone to this person for advice, or you're asking this person, what can I do? Or can you help me do this thing? This person is like, oh, I'll help you all right. And they become sort of like, you know, like you are like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have asked for this person's help, because just like the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords also has high expectations. He's also interested in results. He does not want to waste his time. He does not want to waste his energy and his effort. So if you ask for this help, if you invite this energy into your life or this person into your life, and you say, help me, or how can I do this? How can I do that? And they tell you, or they show you, or you become determined, part of you might be not reluctant, but certainly feeling not up to the task. So with both of these cards, there is a certain expectation, these two energies with the Queen and the King of Swords, there's a certain expectation of not wasting anybody's time, not wasting anybody's efforts. Let's cross that finish line. Let's check these boxes. Let's get across that. You know what I mean? And like I said, here we spent a lot of time sort of preparing, setting the stage, building yourself back up to something. And then once you get to your second tier here, then it becomes go time. And there's a ferocity about it. Like she's maybe it's something like that. Like, and this is not going to be like the best, but maybe this is like a coach, like if it's like a football game or something. Maybe this is the coach calling the plays, looking over the stat sheets, looking over the playbook. And here the King of Swords is like the quarterback, the running back. Okay. So these two work together to implement and initiate whatever you're trying to do, Pisces. I don't know what you're trying to do. There's many of you, so you're all going to be trying to do different things. So some of you, this is financially based. Some of you, this is based in your romantic sector or your interpersonal sector. Some of you, this is self-development. It's going to vary in those three realms and more, okay? But there is this call to action up here when these two get together. And you've invited it in. That's the other thing. You have invited this in. You either have wished for it, you've hoped for it, you've prayed for it, you have sought other people, advice, services, whatever. But because this has been sort of static down here or sort of slowed down, I think there will be a bit of a problem or a hiccup, not necessarily a problem, a hiccup in getting to the level of energy and input that the swords requires. Swords are very fast. And as a water sign, you're not fast. Water signs are just not fast. Air signs, super fast. Or the air element, I should say, super fast. Water, not so much. You can be, of course. You can be, but your tendency is to, just be mellow and chill and relaxed and, sort of at a snail's pace sometimes. But there's a call to ramp it up. And I'm not sure that is what you want. Or what you, not necessarily what you want, what you're prepared for, what you're prepared to do. Some of you will struggle with that, okay? The connection between the King of Cups and the King of Swords, that's very interesting. Someone is making a connection. This is very specific. This is a dating situation between you and another man. You, male Pisces, with another male. That's a dating thing for some of you. They might be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but they don't have to be. But there is sort of like this quiet, demure thing that some male Pisces are going through or feeling. And then there's like this very prominent, like alpha male almost that you're attracted to or is attracted to you or something like that. And there's a connection there. So that's for somebody. But aside from that, I think getting these two to match is going to be harder. Not in the case that I just mentioned. The dating thing, that might work out. I don't know. We're not here for that. I'm not going to clarify it. But I think the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups are going to have an easier time getting along. I think because the King of Cups is coming, like I said earlier, from that VIP section of just standing and watching and observing. And the King of Swords is like out there doing. Let's get things going. Let's get the wheels on the ground here. There's going to be tension between these two energies or these two people. Okay? King of Swords with the Seven of Pentacles. Similarly, I think the Seven of Pentacles, though, actually will have an easier time melding with that energy because it is waiting for the word go. Seven of Pentacles is like, I'm going to yank that fruit off the vine as soon as it's ripe. So there is this anticipation with the Seven of Swords, or excuse me, the Seven of Pentacles, that the King of Swords will be able to tap into easier. So that is a more melding energy. There's a little difficulty there with that. So in your future, so what does that mean? I'm like talking like you guys know what I'm thinking. So the melding, what I'm talking about, isn't really going to work in your present moment, like during your birthday period. You're not going to feel much like going out there and conquering the world. You're not going to feel like meeting up with your advisors, meeting up with your trainers, meeting up with your therapist or whoever, your best friend who's like calling you out saying, hey Pisces, let's go do this. And oh, hey Pisces, make sure you do that. You're not going to want to hear all that jazz, okay? After your birthday period, moving into your near future, you're going to be more open to that energy because at that time, you're going to be ready. You're anticipating having to do something. wanting to do something, being ready to act again. So that's what I mean when I say meld. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. Now, your sixth position, what comes at the top of a cake? A candle, right? So this is basically going to represent sort of your wish, but more so your subconscious wish. It's coming to you from the universe, from God, from spirit, whatever you want to call it, whatever you believe in or don't believe in. And it's what you most need or desire. And again, it's probably super subconscious, okay? And you have the Sun card. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Secondary card of Leo. So there might be a Leo in your life who is significant, but does not have to be. But new horizons, right? We've got that vague gray silhouette of Stonehenge, and we've got like that sunrise coming up over Stonehenge. So some of you are having this awakening. Some of you are having like, or needing to, or wishing for, or the universe is sending to you some type of enlightenment, some type of awakening, some type of aha moment, or ding, 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 all the bells start ringing, right? And it's great because you're so ready to receive it. Look at that silhouette of that person sitting there in that sort of, I guess you could call it an Om pose of sorts. And they're greeting this horizon or this sunrise, right? They're like, yes, I've been waiting all night to see this. I'm looking directly at Stonehenge. It's going to be amazing. So anticipation. So I think what this in general is saying is you're circling back to being ready and embracing new horizons, new opportunities, right? New breath in life. Okay. Additionally, the Sun is considered like the happiest, most joyful card in tarot decks. That will apply to very few of you, like having this vast amount of joy, this vast amount of excitement and thrill, and just like, oh my God, I can't stand how sugary and sweet my life is right now. Excuse me. That's only going to fall in for some of you, or excuse me, a few of you. For the rest, I think it is more so being ready and being open and embracing what the new vitalization you feel in your life, getting revitalized. Could also be because this is sort of tail ending, this is dovetailing into what we were just talking about, where this is preparing you to act, and then I think this is preparing you to embrace the results of your actions, okay? And again, that's near future, okay? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, not to say that you're going to have an awful birthday period. I don't think that's what's going on, but I think that this ultimate joy, this super duper excitement is probably not going to befall most of you on your birthday or anywhere near your birthday. I'm thinking, and it makes sense to me from what I know of many Pisces, is that this is probably going to hit you in the springtime. Pisces, as much as you're the last sign of the winter month. And a lot of you, if you're into astrology and birth charts and all that, you kind of know you rule the 12th house. And the 12th house is about endings, and it is about putting things to rest. And it is sort of like a mournful house in a lot of ways. But you're a human being, and you don't just live through one cycle within your own life. You live through several, right? Every year we do this. Every year we go through winter, and then we have beautiful spring. And I find a lot of people, not just Pisces, of course, or excuse me, I find a lot of Pisces, not just people, but a lot of Pisces that I've met, you really get your shit going when springtime hits. Like, you spend not a lot of time, but you're super melancholy during the winter. But from what I understand of astrology, that makes sense. You're a mutable sign. You're the last sign of the winter month. It makes sense to me that you would be super excited about spring. It's not that you're dissing your own position in the 12th house. It's not that you're dissing your own sign and everything that you encompass and how beautiful you are. It's not that. It's more of like I have another, if you think about it, sort of, if you're familiar with how things move on the astrological wheel, once you click past this this western horizon, okay, you go back to the first house, which means for you, Pisces, I have another 11 cycles. I have another 11 houses before my time and my focus is. So that invigorates you. You've got more ahead of you. I hope that makes sense. That's not going to make sense for everybody. But that's what I'm seeing. It's like, come springtime, back in the game. I feel revitalized. I feel centered again. I feel that I can conquer what I need to conquer. I can accomplish what I need to accomplish. I can feel what I was not able to feel previously. Some of you are having a disconnect with yourselves, and this is a reconnection to yourself. You know, some of you, let me pick that back up. Some of you might be doing yoga and going on retreats and stuff like that. And so maybe this is what you're doing. You know, you plan this trip to go and center yourself and, you know, touch the feet of God, or hug a couple of trees, or lie down in the forest in the dead of night and listen to the way nature moves around you, something like that. And then once you do that, boom, you're back in the game. So, like I said to you earlier, Pisces, I don't think you're going to have a horrible birthday period. I just think it's not going to come to some grand sort of this euphoric thing that some of you may have been hoping for. Some of you may have been, and don't be discouraged by what I'm saying. Some of you may have felt like, okay, during this birthday period, on my birthday, I'm just going to have a great day. You very well might. But I think what's going on in the back of things, and in the background, is a lot of reconfiguring, reconciling, trying to go back and figure things out is what I think is going on. I hope that makes sense. All right, let's get you guys an oracle card. I left them on the other side of the room. 1 second. All right, guys, I apologize about that. Left these guys all over there. Silly me. Now, let's get you an oracle card. Oracle for Pisces during our birthday period. Oracle card for Pisces during our birthday period, February 19th through March 20th. Yeah, that was nice. Quick little 3 and done. I like that. All right, let's see what we got. Whoa, there it goes. Just set that up there. And White Tara, sensitivity. Let's read it. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. Okay, I like that. I'm going to set it in the center there. Again, you're becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. Let's read from the book for you guys. And I'll hold it up for you guys so you can see it, because who doesn't like to see things while we're reading, huh? As you've purified your inner world of thoughts, actions, and intentions, it's natural that you seek purity in your outer world as well. This is to acknowledge your heightened sensitivity, which is as real as it seems. You've stripped away the outer protective layers of unneeded defenses, which blocked your which blocked your psychic and spiritual awareness. Now you're on a path of ascension, which calls for your heightened awareness. And with this awareness comes new levels of sensitivity to the impure and harsh. Your body is a trustworthy instrument of measurement of your tolerance level. Steer clear of that which your body signals you to avoid. Take excellent care of your body, and it shall serve you well. Bros and ladies. Nice. And maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe like you're becoming more sensitive, you're becoming more aware of your body, your surroundings, other people in your life that are harmful to you spiritually, physically, emotionally, whatever, mentally. And maybe that's what that Fool is. You were trying to patch those things together, you were trying to make things work, and it just didn't stick because you're coming to this higher level of awareness. You're moving into different sectors or different social circles. And so you have to come out and become more sensitive and level-headed. You have to wait for the right moment to act. You have to wait for the right moment to disconnect. You have to do all of these things. And then when you kind of have to finalize that ascension, there is a call to action. You might be weary, you might be hesitant, but I think you should push yourself through or allow yourself to be guided through if these are two external people or just one external person, whoever. And then you eventually get to like that super happy spot up there that we were talking about with the sun card, yeah? But again, down the line, springtime probably for most of you, maybe into the summer for you late bloomers, okay? All right, Pisces, that's your birthday reading. I hope it was okay for you. It wasn't like the easiest message to hear, but I feel pretty dang good that that should resonate with a good amount of you. All right. Now, if you like what you saw, hit the like button down below. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. If you're new here, welcome to the fold. If you want to stick around and keep getting notifications about when I upload, just hit the subscribe button, and then you can also hit the notifications bell and you'll be notified when I upload. Also comment below. I would love to see how this resonates for you. If you have anything to tell me, that would be great. And share across your social media if you want to, okay? I will be back with this particular reading, your birthday reading, in 1 year, so stay tuned. But I'll be back sooner than that to do your March reading, which is sort of like a secondary, birthday reading for you March Pisces, and I will have that up in about a week or two, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Bye.